of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
This is Britain's Newsroom, where your voice matters.
It's just astonishing. With expert analysis and honest opinion, we don't just keep you informed.
We bring you unique perspectives you won't see anywhere else.
Can't argue with any of that. When the news happens, it happens here.
On Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5.
You got me. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah.
Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight on the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace
Saturday nights from 6 p.m, only on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Welcome along to Patrick Christys Tonight, late edition, breaking tonight.
He promised that he would stop the boats this year.
I think the way to stop the boats is to smash the criminal gangs.
People crossing in small boats across the channel. We have to stop that.
Abject failure, not my words, the words of the left-wing independent newspaper. Abject failure as smuggling arrests fall under Labour. Unbelievable, that, isn't it? They have smashed fewer gangs than even the Conservatives. Is that just another whopper? But here's something to contrast it with.
Nossa boca do rio, moços. Moços, isto é na nossa boca do rio, caralho.
That was the shocking moment that migrants arrived at an Algarve beach in Portugal before being swiftly detained and ordered to leave the country. Why can't we do that in the UK? Meanwhile,
We have been very clear that for working people, we are not going to increase their taxes.
well, get a load of this. I mean, this is absolutely devastating. The Daily Telegraph, families face fresh inheritance tax grab. Remarkable, this. Rachel Reeves is considering taxing you on gifts you want to give your children before you die. And?
Of these moments of discovery and beauty. So let's be curious together. Do you know who doesn't like lobster?
Who?
My husband.
And you'll marry him?
Oh, my gosh, a story that makes me feel sad that I've got eyes. With Love, Meghan, Season 2 trailer has just dropped tonight, and I will be joined by the one man at the centre of a row between him, Meghan and Netflix. This is actually a great guest that we've got here, which makes a change. Thanks, guys. It's a great guest. Meghan, he's had a huge row with Meghan Markle, and bizarrely, he's agreed to come on this show. And...
김정은 동지께서 중동 TF를 끊으시었습니다.
Keir Starmer opens a hotel. Oh, no, sorry. It's Hotel North Korea. You can check out any time you like, but you can't leave a bad review, apparently. We'll get you more detail on that. On my panel this evening, we've got broadcasting royalty Christo Fufas and lover of Premier League footballers, former Labour Party advisor Matthew Torbett and GB News contributor and comedian Paul Cox. But first, let's get those headlines, shall we, with Tatiana.
Patrick, thank you. The top stories. More than 2,000 small boat migrants have crossed the English Channel illegally since the France returns deal came into operation. It comes after GBNews confirmed more than 50,000 migrants had crossed in the 13 months since the Keir Starmer came to power. The figure is now almost 50,700 after a further 426 migrants crossed from France today. In total, since the UK-France partial returns deal came into operation less than a week ago, 2,019 small boat migrants have arrived in UK waters. Under the deal, it's believed only around 50 of that figure will be earmarked for return back to France. The number of people claiming universal credit has hit a record 8 million, the highest since the benefit was introduced in 2013. Official figures show a jump of more than 1 million in the past year, driven almost entirely by those not required to work, now at 3.7 million. That group includes people in full-time education, parents with very young children, pensioners and those deemed to have no prospect of work. Labour says it inherited a broken welfare system from the Conservative Party and is tightening rules on who can claim. Sir Keir Starmer will co-chair a meeting with pro-Ukraine allies on Wednesday after a call with US President Donald Trump and European leaders about ending the war. Sir Keir will join a virtual call at midday with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, French President Emmanuel Macron and the German Chancellor. They will then be joined by Mr Trump and JD Vance. Later, the Prime Minister will co-chair a coalition of the willing meeting to update wider partners on the day's discussions. Netflix has released a trailer for Season 2 of the Duchess of Sussex's lifestyle show, a day after the Sussexes announced a watered-down deal with the streaming giant.
Love these moments of discovery and beauty. So let's be curious together. Do you know who doesn't like lobster?
Who?
My husband.
And you'll marry him?
The teaser, which Meghan also shared on her Instagram account, revealed that the next instalment of With Love, Meghan will air in 2 weeks' time. Season 1 was described by some critics as a gormless lifestyle filler. And temperatures peaked at 33.4 degrees in the UK today as Britain has its fourth heat wave of the summer. The highest readings were recorded in Benson, Oxfordshire and Northolt's in West London. Amber and yellow heat health alerts currently in place for all of England. Those are the latest headlines. For now, it's back to Patrick.
Tune into GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB digital radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Welcome back to Late Edition. Let's get stuck straight in to Wednesday's front pages. I mean, the most sensational of the lot is The Independent. Abject failure as smuggling arrests fall under Labour. Quite a hammer blow, that, for the smash the gangs rhetoric. The Daily Telegraph. Families face fresh inheritance tax grab. Again, really, I think, quite a bad look. We'll have to get more detail on this, but my understanding of it is that if you want to leave gifts or pass a bit on at the moment, and you survive them for another 7 years, then that's tax-free. It would appear, anyway, that the rumours are Labour wants to change that. I think there's a stark contrast between that and the picture of mostly, almost entirely blokes, flooding into Britain there, really, which is kind of, well, where's that money going, isn't it? But anyway, the Daily Mirror. I mean, come on. I mean, the Daily Mirror. Yes, Brooklyn Beckham's back for more, but no, that's not it. Dry alert they've got there. Apparently it's hot, it's summer, reservoirs can't cope, it's dry. So there we are. Thank you, Mirror. And the Daily Express. Record 8 million people are on universal credit. I think this ties in with the story that we did earlier on, which is that there's 1 million more people now who are on a lifetime of benefits with no need to look for a job ever under Labour than there were before. So the benefits bill is going to be something like 100 billion quid a year within the next 5 years. So fantastic. The paper, clamp down on stone imports after deadly lung disease linked to kitchen revamps. Well, I obviously got the front page at the same time as everyone else. Maybe I am missing something really big about this. Appears to me to be quite a niche story.
They've done an investigation about the import of stone worktops. Apparently, the dust in the stone worktops is causing lung problems.
But forgive me, but why are you getting dust out of it unless you're like hacking into it?
Yeah, surely that's just during the building process, Christo, isn't it? Do you hang around with the builders, Christo?
Well, I mean, I have been known to spend some time with those builders. Apparently, there's among young workers, there's deaths from incurable lung disease after kitchen fitters.
Stop laughing now. That's the bit where you stop laughing.
Why is that the funniest thing I've said? Incurable lung disease. These kitchen fitters are using artificial stone and they're inhaling the silica dust. And I think the silica dust is the thing that is that it preserves it. Apparently, man-made quartz, which is cheaper than natural stone, has become popular for new home refurbishments. Now, you've just had your kitchen done.
Yeah.
So, you know...
Gosh, you know, I thought I was feeling under the weather. Right, let's move on.
Has anything in your kitchen ever been man-made?
I don't know, Christo. I didn't even want it. Right, let's go to The Sun, I think. Yeah, taunts of the TikTok migrant. Yes. So this is as a bloke who obviously has come to Britain illegally, living in a hotel which you're paying for, and is broadcasting, apparently, to an audience of millions from that hotel, telling everyone to come to Britain. The Metro... Bungling hit woman in niqab faces life. We've actually got video of this that we played in the last show, which we might be able to play a bit later on. So maybe calls again to ban the burqa. At the Times, Chinese company could take over struggling Thames Water. The Daily Mail, Labour say it's not their fault that we've got record numbers of illegal immigration. Yeah, we'll talk about the Independent soon, but The Guardian, Treasury targets inheritance tax rises to plug growing UK deficit. So it does look like that story's got some serious legs. It's not just on the front of one newspaper, but it's on the front of two national newspapers. Well, yes, let's get straight into our panel. The Independent's front page, I think, is just absolutely horrendous for Labour. And yeah, the National Crime Agency has basically smashed fewer people smugglers than the Tories did, in the last year. So it's getting worse.
Quite incredible, isn't it? I love the fact they say exclusive, like we didn't already know this. I mean, the Independent, I mean, glad you're finally on board, but we've known about this for some time. Does anyone anywhere agree that Labour are doing anything right, would be my question.
Well, yeah, the people smugglers.
The people smugglers are loving it, but, I mean, the Independent, I do wonder now whether, I mean, the left have turned on Labour. I don't know who supports Labour anymore. They're turning on them for different reasons than I've been turning on them for since they've been in power. Yeah. But this abject failure and this story is a huge embarrassment to Keir Starmer. There's no getting away from this now. He's not smashed the gangs, and we're doing nothing that's ever going to smash the gangs. I'd love to know what Matt has to say about this.
Oh, thanks. I mean, this is essentially like Groundhog Day. I get asked, isn't this awful? I say yes. What should we do about it? Offshore processing, government sort of starts again and continues what we're doing.
We could get AI to replace you, couldn't we?
No, you could.
Get the same answers.
We could. That's lovely.
I think what the government would say, these are not my words, but obviously the government would say that deportations are apparently up and that we are removing people. There is a backlog, clearly, and that did, listen, as part of that did act as a hangover from the Tories, there's no doubt in that. Yeah. However, I think the thing that annoys people is the boats. And it isn't the people on the boats that we're deporting. What we're doing is we're deporting people on backlogs or that maybe have come here as students and overstayed, and people don't see that in their communities. This is the stuff that annoys people. We're not stopping
But it's also a self-inflicted problem, because this was the thing that did for Rishi Sunak, because he said, oh, stop the boats. Obviously, they didn't stop any boats, really. And so now we've had smash the gangs, and that front page, on the front of the Independent, is like a nail in Labour's coffin, isn't it, Christo? I mean, abject failure.
It is a complete failure, but, look, let's not say that everything is negative. At least we found an industry that is growing under Labour. That is, unfortunately, people smuggling.
At least one
industry is growing. Yeah. It's also, of course, this comes when many of the front pages have got the picture story of the fact that small boat crossings have also hit 50,000, and it's only taken about 400 days for that to happen, which is far faster than any of the recent prime ministers that we've had. So it is a complete failure on absolutely every level, and I think people are just going to get more and more angry about this. I mean, what can you say about it other than the fact that it's just more slogans and more nonsense that we heard from them? Smash the gangs means absolutely nothing. Voted for change, fixing the foundations. All these three-word nonsense slogans.
Working people.
Yeah.
Well, they're literally some of the other...
That was only 2 words, but...
But we'll talk about that later, is working people. I mean, we're literally the party of non-working people now, Labour, aren't they? They've got 1 million more people on a lifetime of benefits with no obligation to look for work. But so we've got some of the figures on that, by the way. It is down an astonishing amount, the prosecution of human traffickers. And again, by the way, this is not just about the Labour Party. I'm sorry, but this is the National Crime Agency as well. We have, as a company here at GB News, handed them, like, so many details of smugglers, human traffickers, everything. I even went to France to shake hands with 3 of them, and now, how on earth can prosecutions be down? How?
Well, it's impossible. I mean, it's an impossible question to answer without lying, isn't it? I think we've been gaslit into believing this isn't the problem that it is, against the backdrop of we must. You know, these people fall in multiculturalism. Unfortunately, for the debate, you know, they all come over. They're multicultural people, and we're all and they've all been chucked in the same boat as multiculturalism is good. It's not good. This is not good. This is not good for our society. This is not good for community cohesion. This is not good for our economy. This is not good for our country. This is not good. And the national crime... You're right, actually. Of course you're right, Patrick, because you've seen it all for yourself.
Thank you.
But naturally, but this is a Tory problem. This is a Labour problem. Yeah. We've had 20-odd years of manifestos that say they're going to do something about this, and nothing has been done.
Do you remember immigration going into the tens of thousands?
Yes, I remember
David Cameron saying that. I mean, we could literally do show after show reminiscing on broken immigration promises. We'd all be literally wanting to throw ourselves off one of these dinghies by the end of it.
Well, one of the things that I saw as well, the BBC, just before we go to the next story, by the way, the BBC actually did where GB News leads, of course, the BBC follows, but they decided to do a little bit of the Smash the Gang stuff that we've done, and they traced a few Iraqi Kurds to Birmingham who were running this, and then 2 days later, the National Crime Agency released a video arresting what appeared to be those exact Iraqi Kurds. Do we just have to do their job for them now? Is this what it is? I mean, you know, how can they be arresting fewer human traffickers? We've got record levels of people crossing the Channel. By definition, we've got more human traffickers than ever before. What are they playing at?
I'm no expert. Whether they would blame lack of resources, I don't know. Surely the point of ensnaring these type of people is to have somebody go undercover, much the way you and others have done.
Patrick from Vietnam, you mean?
Well, yes, exactly.
I don't know how undercover he was with a GB News crew next to him.
But the idea is you managed to track these people down. It doesn't fill you with much hope, really, does it, if these are the best and the best?
Sorry, guys, we've got a bit of breaking news I need to give you now. So, this is breaking news out of Texas in the United States of America. A train that may have been carrying hazardous materials has derailed in Palo Pinto County, Texas. That's according to local officials. The incident occurred at around 2 p.m. local time over a railroad bridge on Colville Road, about 2 miles east of Gordon in Texas. That is according to Palo Pinto County Emergency Services. The train was from Union Pacific Railroad. The company confirmed to ABC News. The footage that you're looking on your screen now is the latest that we've got there, and it is filmed from a helicopter that has been deployed overhead. Approximately 35 Union Pacific cars derailed. This really is a significant train derailment. Union Pacific said that no one was injured, but Palo Pinto County Emergency Services said no cars are leaking contents and that crews are on the scene mitigating the damage from the hazards, although the footage that we showed you there did appear to show quite a sizable fire. The Palo Pinto Fire Department is working to contain that grass fire at the scene, and fire officials are proceeding with caution. This is being treated as a hazmat situation. The cause of the derailment is under investigation. So there you go. That's the latest from Texas. We're going to give you one more look at these shots now. So that is the Inferno following the derailment, a large derailment of at least 35 cars, as we understand it, from a train in Texas that was believed to have been carrying hazardous materials. So that's the latest from the scene there. If we get any more information for you, we will give it to you, or maybe even a video of the moment of impact or something along those lines. That is footage that's been brought to you by a overhead helicopter there. Right, OK, the good news at the moment, by the way, on that is that so far it would appear that no one has been injured in that crash, so that's good, just presumably the wildlife and the trees. But anyway, right, so yeah, just before we go to the break, I'll just touch on another front page because they are latest. The Sun, taunts of the TikTok migrant. This is a bloke who apparently has been doing a live stream Q&A on social media, Paul, telling people to come to Britain and what a great life he's got near Heathrow.
Incredible. His name's Alexandra, which is a girl's name. Alexandra 420, actually, we assume is the number he was in the migrants travelling over on that day. But
420 is obviously the weed stuff, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
420 is a big...
I don't know that. Oh, I didn't know
No.
that.
Oh, really?
No,
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, no one knew that. No, but 420 is a big cannabis day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there you
Beautiful.
go.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, he's a double criminal then, isn't he? What I would say is if I went onto TikTok and made a video against this guy, the chances are it would be taken down as being discriminatory in some way, right? However, if you're one of the guys on the boat smoking weed and encouraging everybody else to commit a crime, it seems you can get 1 million people watching you. So, you know, perhaps that's what I need to do next.
Maybe we should quit this and do that.
This looks... He's going to be... You know he's going to have a deal, and he's going to be, like, you know...
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to give him a
He's
deal.
collaborating with Snoop Dogg.
He'll be on Love Island.
Yeah, Love Island,
He'll be an influencer that's asked to be on
Which is what we are now, according to them.
What could go wrong?
He's got 1 million views. He's live streaming from what looks like the Crown Plaza Hotel next to Heathrow, which I mean, you know, it
would kill to get in there, Christo.
I really would. I really would. But no, but actually, can I just say, right? Because me and him indoors have been talking about going on holiday, and because it's an early flight, we're looking at hotels around the airport. They're a fortune. I'd love to stay in the Crown Plaza before I go on holiday, but you can't.
Get a Eurostar.
You know,
dingy it back, mate. You'll be in there in a week.
Matthew, he brags. Tell your friends to come to England. It's just galling, isn't it, this stuff there?
Yeah, I think even a bleeding heart liberal as myself would struggle to even imagine this man is a genuine refugee. And actually, I would say probably something that isn't very left-wing is that there has to be a mechanism for that man to now be deported. He's laughing in our faces.
He's not saying, "Oh gosh, you know, there's no war here. I feel safe."
Yeah, no, I refuse to believe that man is a genuine refugee that is fleeing persecution.
Did you see this analysis you're paying for here?
And you know, this is ridiculous. What else do you say?
It is unfair.
But it's every day now. There's something like this, and it is just every
You know, the broader point,
day.
actually, Patrick, though, is this knocks me more sick because he gives genuine people a bad name who may well be fleeing, and they will be, at the moment, maybe in the minority, I don't know, but somebody that's really, truly fleeing is going to get the book thrown at them because of idiots like this.
Yeah, I
deserve nothing.
I concur. I don't think he's genuine. I'm not an expert on these matters, but I don't think he's... Because also, who flees a war zone and says, oh, my God, you know, I must get my blanket and my child and all my TikTok account? You know, who does that? Who does that?
Well, quite. All right, OK, well, look, coming up in a moment, I think we're going to get our teeth stuck into this, aren't we? We're going to play you this clip.
We have been very clear that for working people, we are not going to increase their taxes.
Well, the front of the Daily Telegraph and the Guardian...
What I was going to say, and the Times is saying it as well.
So
there's a photo... Oh, actually, no, and the Telegraph, you're right, and there's a photo on the front page of the Telegraph. I don't know if we're going to look at it.
We will in a sec when we come back,
It's hilarious.
Right, so yeah, so inheritance tax, the rules could be changing. It's probably going to affect you. Stay tuned.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk
No,
now?
that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
That stark warning comes as the Justice Secretary approves the trial of taser stun guns ahead of the likely rollout to male prisons.
Well, it follows violent attacks on officers in recent months by two of the country's most dangerous and notorious inmates. Mark White reports.
Exercise live. At this security facility, a mock scenario of the type of violence that's all too common within our prisons. But as the Justice Secretary looks on, those playing the role of perpetrators are about to face a new tactic. Tasers are a very familiar option within frontline policing. But until now, these weapons have not been available to help protect the men and women dealing with some of the country's most violent offenders. That's all about to change.
Drop that weapon, do it now!
As the government begins the trials process ahead of the likely rollout of taser within male prisons.
I know that staff have been crying out for tasers to be authorised for use across the adult male estate, and I was very pleased to be able to sign off on this trial. It will run over the summer period, and it's designed to make sure that we can learn lessons about the use of tasers within a custodial environment, which is different to how tasers are normally used.
It was shocking attacks on prison officers, alleged to have been carried out by two of the country's most notorious inmates, that focus national attention on the real dangers faced by prison staff.
GB News, the People's Channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Welcome back to later editions. There's a story on 3 national newspapers tomorrow, or if you're watching us in the morning, today. Let's start with The Telegraph. It's big, really. It's the idea now that Labour is going to try to change the inheritance tax rules, and that would mean that even if you wanted to leave gifts or property to your loved one or friends whilst you're alive, banking on the fact that you're going to survive for 7 years and therefore they won't have to pay any tax on it, they might be looking to get rid of that. It's not just on The Telegraph, though. It's also on the front page of The Times, and it's also on the front page of The Guardian. So it's got 3 newspapers going this. The Treasury is looking at ways to raise more money from inheritance tax amid growing pressures on the finances. Now, what you will notice in all 3 of those national newspapers is the picture story that they have chosen to run next to it, Christo.
Yes, The Guardian has it, and also The Telegraph has this picture.
The Telegraph one's good, let's get
to, of all of these migrants sort of sprinting through the water, like running towards Britain, flooding towards Britain. They're saying migrants flood into Britain, and as you see them sprinting on the front page of The Telegraph, you can just see it here. You think, well, where are the women and children?
Oh, they're right at the back, Christoph. Just outside.
But then I thought, well, women and children first.
Oh yeah,
so
well maybe
they're taking the photo.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe these young virile chaps from parts of the world like Sudan and Libya had actually pushed all the women and children onto the boat before, and they were just running out. They're actually just helping them.
But this is on the shore, so were they all on the shore already, safely? The women and children are all there.
It looks like a multicultural version of the Christmas Day swim at Brighton, doesn't it?
It does.
It just, you know when you get all the middle-class people at Brighton saying how cold it is on Christmas Day going for a swim. It's a little bit like that, sponsored by Puma, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. They look happy to be here.
We know exactly what's going on here. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
We keep saying things like we don't know and we're not experts. We know exactly what's going on here. We know exactly why they're coming here. I mean, it's not long before there's photographs of the rest of us running the other way, to be fair.
Well, quite. But the juxtaposition between that and so you're going to raid people who want to leave a bit of money for their kids.
I found a child. Sorry, Guardian, I found a child.
Oh, brilliant.
There's a child on someone's shoulders.
There's quite
on the front page of The Guardian. Am I being unfair?
But that's interesting, that, isn't it? So we are now, apparently, Labour are going to make these inheritance tax changes. You know, who's that money? Why do we have all these deficits? Who's that money going to go to? You know, seriously, why can't someone work hard in this country and leave something to their kids without the government coming in and going yoink?
Well, the social contract's broken. You know, the idea that actually many of us will rely up and down the country on the hope that our mum and dads may pay off their mortgages and therefore leave us something to maybe get on the housing ladder ourselves with. The idea I'll ever buy a house is totally laughable, and I think that's the case for loads of people in my generation. The juxtaposition, of course, is, you know, the fact that we're wasting loads of money on the fact that we're not processing people before they get here, and we seem incapable of thinking outside the box on this sort of stuff. and therefore we're papering over the cracks by squeezing people to the pit.
This is, right, so Rachel Reeves is not a smart woman. I'm sorry to say that, but I really do think that she is not bright. I'm amazed that she's able to straighten that bob that she calls a hairdo in the morning. Because
don't, Christo, she'll start crying.
Oh, yeah, she will start crying. Well, I'm going to start crying in a minute, because this is, I think, just at the fundamental core of being British, and that is the aspiration to do well and maybe leave something to your children. And what they're doing, they're looking at all the wealth in people's houses and the fact that as a result of successive government failures over the years, meaning that there are too many people from the number of houses here, that means house prices have gone up. And so some people have got lucky. And the government are thinking, well, we want our sticky little fingers on that. We can't bear the fact that there is this unearned wealth in people's houses, and they might want to give that wealth to their children. We can't have that. We've got to get our sticky little fingers on it. Meanwhile, buried in this story, by the way, they're also talking about upping capital gains even more. Capital gains receipts are down 20% as a result of the last time that they put up capital gains. So they want to put it up even more. I mean, they're thick.
Rachel Reeves wrote a paper about that as a backbencher, actually.
When she was answering the phone at Citibank as a customer service
She wanted to
representative.
equalise it, I think, at the same rate as income tax. So it's something that she's obviously held a belief on. I think she was chair of the Select Committee, Treasury Select Committee 2015. She wrote a paper on that.
But what stage of bankruptcy does she change her beliefs?
But what do you make of this? This idea now that they might start clobbering you if you decide to leave money to your kids and then dare to survive for 7 years.
It's clearly the politics of envy. It's robbing the dead to pay for today's vanity contemporary political projects, OK? This has been around for a while, OK? Lots of people, if they're clever enough or get time, they will smuggle away before the 7-year limit money so that their children can have some of that money. We're not talking endlessly wealthy people here. We're talking average people, like Christo said, who happen to have done OK out of the housing market. What is wrong with passing that on to the next generation so that can grow as well? It all comes back into the overall coffers anyway. It's snatching away now. It's snatching away any hope when all hope has already been
Aspiration,
taken.
it's just gone. Aspiration gone. And look, it comes in again with the thing. 1 million more people under Labour signed off work with no need to ever look for a job and a lifetime of benefits. You know, jobs down. The job market is down. Fewer jobs being advertised. Oh, but if you've worked hard and you've earned a bit of money, not even people. Not talking about people who've got lucky in the housing market or anything. People who've worked hard and earned a few quid and done well and want to give that to their kids. They'll come in. They'll tax you on that.
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous. It's so awful, the fact that they're wanting to do this. And these are, like I said, these are families who might have got a bit of wealth in their house, right? You're quite right. The average house price across the UK, well, sometimes we're in a bit of a London bubble with this, but actually the average house price across the UK is not a huge sum of money, but they might have just got enough so that they can give their children a little bit towards getting themselves on the housing ladder, which I actually believe as a parent is your job if you've made a little bit of money on your house. It's the best thing you can do. You give it to your children with a warm hand rather than a cold hand, and they will take that. It's just
go on, Matthew.
wrong
Is
on every
there
level.
a justification for this that we're all missing? What do you reckon?
I think you could say that, you know, a lot of wealth is tied up in property and people have got lucky on that. You know, where else are we going to find the money? I think, actually, to give Rachel Reeves the slightest bit of wiggle room, this comes because the Prime Minister couldn't control his own backbenchers on a vote more recently on welfare. This is why the black hole has apparently got even bigger. She's now got to work with what she's got to work with, which is obviously why she was in tears the day after, because she's going, I don't know what else I can do, because you have that triple headache of not wanting to break your manifesto pledges of taxes on working people, which this sort of is as well, but, you know, we'll ignore that for the moment. Filling the black hole in the first place and also not breaking your fiscal rules.
She sold her soul to the devil, though, hasn't she? She could resign. I know that would bring down essentially this cabinet.
So. That'd be well.
She could resign, though. When Keir Starmer capitulated to his backbenchers in the way he did at the time he did it. He completely chucked Rachel Reeves, no matter how bad she is, under the bus. At that point, the noble thing to have done would have been to have resigned and said, "You're wrong, you lot are wrong too, and I'm not standing for
But
this."
you saw what happened when she cried. Actually, her job is probably safer than it ever was, because the market started to crash thinking she was resigning.
Oh,
so we're now, you know, we're going to be stuck with
They
her.
didn't crash because she was resigning. They crashed because they saw a woman who's way out of her depth in floods of tears in the House of Commons, and it was pathetic.
And also
that
the
was what
market
they thought. Britain is a joke, and this woman's the clown.
And the market always wobbles a little bit when they think there's going to be a new chancellor. Always.
We've got to go. But that thing there, the idea about so we're going to increase benefits for people, but we're going to clobber people who want to leave something to their kids. I mean, what country, eh? Coming up in just a moment.
Of these moments of discovery and beauty. So let's be curious together. Do you know who doesn't like lobster? Who? My husband.
And you'll marry him?
Just take my eyes out my head and have them. Just do it. Anyway, With Love Meghan, Season 2. The trailer has just landed. I'm going to be joined tonight, I'm looking forward to this, by a man who is at the centre of a catastrophic row between him, Meghan and Netflix. So stay tuned.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Over the coming days, it is going to remain hot in some places. This could be enough to produce some heavy, possibly thundery showers in the week, and the warm, muggy nights are set to continue. And it's all thanks to that south-southeasterly flow, so we're dragging up some heat from mainland Europe, keeping things quite dry and settled, but also quite warm at times. And as we head through this evening, we'll also drag up some moisture from the southwest, so more cloud just starting to push into parts of south and southwest England, southern parts of Wales too. That could lead us into quite a murky start in the morning. Mostly dry, though we do have some showers just pushing northeastwards across Scotland. But once again, another warm start today. Lows only reaching around 17 to 18 degrees in the south. Now, any cloud that we see across the southwest, it should lift and break through the course of the morning, but it could be thick enough at coasts to produce some very isolated showers. But across Northern Ireland, much of central and southeastern parts of England, northern parts of England too, it should be a bright and sunny start to the day. More cloud across Scotland, some isolated showers just moving their way northeastwards here too. The odd one or two could be heavy, and once again we could still continue to hear the odd rumble of thunder, but they'll eventually clear, drifting their way northeastwards. Any cloud across the southwest will lift and break, and for all, once again, it should be mostly dry, settled and feeling very hot in that sunshine, particularly across central areas. And then we just need to keep an eye on the showers across parts of the southeast, so we may start to see more cloud here into the afternoon, perhaps the odd light shower. But once again, temperatures widely in the mid to high 20s, just pushing into the low 30s across central parts. Then on Thursday, we see a bit of a mixed bag of weather. There are going to be some quite heavy thundery showers, particularly northwest Scotland, drifting into western parts of Wales, parts of southwest England as well. So we need to keep an eye on those showers. They could turn quite heavy and thundery. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine to end the week and into the weekend, and the warm temperatures are set to continue as well. Bye-bye.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There, you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
OK, welcome back to Late Edition. I'm really excited for this. The Sussexes are the media-making machines that just won't stop, unfortunately. And today is no different. Yes, the self-indulgently named With Love Meghan Netflix show has just released a Season 2 trailer. The show itself doesn't appear to be about very much. But here's a little taster.
Of these moments of discovery and beauty. So let's be curious together. Do you know who doesn't like lobster? My husband.
And you'll marry him?
OK, so my next guest found himself at the centre of a row between himself, Netflix and Meghan Markle after he claimed that he was asked to appear in season 1, but Netflix denied it after he slammed Meghan's cooking skills. So there we go. Joined now by celebrity chef Jameson Stocks. Thank you very, very much. It's great to have you on.
No worries. Great to be on.
So first things first, just explain to our viewers and listeners what happened.
Well, basically, I came onto the show. I basically said what I thought about a show, and then I got a few hate, a lot of love, a bit of hate. A few of the Sussex squad came after me,
right,
as usual. And then Netflix kind of protected her. Then they kind of withdrew it a little bit. Then they protected her. And then obviously now that she's got a season 2 going out. But people have to remember, season 2 was filmed the same time as season 1.
Yes, it's the same show.
It's the same show. So it's not like it got recommissioned. It just kind of continuation of the first nonsense.
Which didn't rate particularly well.
Oh, it didn't. No, it didn't even get into the top 300.
No.
So.
Which is why they should probably put you on. So wait. So let me get this straight. So you thought maybe you were going to be on the show.
I was in New York Fashion Week a couple of years ago. I went to Soho House. Met a couple of producers with Netflix.
Yeah.
Got the date and everything, because obviously I was there. And I wasn't told it was Meghan's show, but I was kind of nudged and told it was something to do with her. And listened to what they had to say, and then that was it. And I decided not to do it because I didn't really want to do it. Not because, I didn't even get to the point of pay or anything.
Do you just not like her, is it?
I have nothing against her. I just didn't like the idea of me putting my knowledge into a programme and not getting the benefits of it. I'd rather put my knowledge into a programme and me get the benefits of it rather than some fake chef.
Yeah, that is actually fair enough. What do you think about it like that, isn't it? Because it's as well, I think as you were talking there, we've got a couple of things that she's making. She basically tarts a lot of stuff up with flower petals, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and then she sells the flower petals for, stupid prices and just rips people off. But, you can go to Marks and Spencer's and other supermarkets.
Yeah, Marks and Spencer's is a great one there.
And you can get them at a quarter of the price, what she's selling them for.
Because I look at it through different eyes to you. Because this is your craft, isn't it? You cook, chef, everything like that. But I mean, is it soul destroying for someone like you to look at this and being like, this isn't cooking?
Well, it's not really soul destroying, but I trained in 3 Michelin star restaurants with top chefs, doing 18-hour days. Not earning a lot of money. I've done obviously TV shows and stuff, but I certainly wasn't paid over $100 million to create a programme like what she has. She's had the best producers, she's had the best backing, she's had millions of dollars spent on a programme, and it's been a flop.
Well, she made a rainbow fruit salad, so that was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Go on.
Some of my personal favourites were the children's party that she threw with Mindy Kaling, was it? And then at the end, there were no children. There was just the two of them sort of sat there. There was also there was a thing that she made one day. Actually, it was amazing. It was tea.
Oh, was it amazing?
No, it was just tea.
Oh, really?
Just tea.
Well, as in a cup of tea?
As in a cup of tea. It was a fruit tea that she put it in a bottle in the sunshine so it would infuse, and then they drank it. You're quite right. She thinks edible flowers are the solution to everything. If she would literally sprinkle them over Israel and Gaza and think they would solve that. Because she thinks that basically edible flowers are the solution to absolutely everything in the whole world ever. And I do love as well the moments on the programme as well where they're like, we're just doing some cooking, but why don't we take a moment, Meghan, just to talk about how amazing you are and how much you do with your day? And you're just like, I'm going to actually vomit and I will produce something from my stomach via my mouth that will be more worthwhile than what you're actually cooking here.
How would you have done this show differently, do you think?
Honestly, I think that Netflix missed the trick. I think they should have kept to kind of human side. When she did stuff with Grenfell, for instance, she was quite approachable. She seemed the person of the people, whether it was fake or not, I don't know. Yeah. But, she almost kind of went into the whole Diana role.
She'd not gone crazy then, no.
And she didn't wear makeup, she didn't wear expensive clothes. She just was quite relaxed, quite chilled, quite natural. I think people quite like that side of her. Now she's in a rented house in the middle of California. She's doing this. She's doing stupid stuff on TV. She's stirring stuff like over here, and she's got a whole stove here, and I just find the whole thing bizarre.
And what's amazing is I'm just going to go to the garden and get some herbs. It's not your garden.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make this basket for my friend who's staying over in the guest bedroom. It's not your guest bedroom. It's not your friend. And it's not your friend.
And like I was saying to Patrick, was, you know, I only watched the first episode only because I was paid to watch it. And, you know, I've done a few newspaper interviews today regarding, obviously, season 2, but in regards to watching any more, it's just torture.
It is awful. Unless it's sort of like when you're on the motorway and you see a hideous accident and you can't take your eyes off it. It's similar in that way.
Wow.
Can I get just sorry? I'm going to sound a bit parched. Idea for a show, but this at some point, unfortunately, season 2 is going to be released to the public.
I heard that.
And when it is, right? When it is, could I get you on to review it?
Maybe, yeah. Why not? Why not?
Just for that one.
Why not? I mean, let's be serious here. Netflix is starting to pull out slowly. They've gone on to like a pay-per-view show. But let's not make no mistake here. Everyone else is on pay-per-view show with Netflix.
Right.
She's not got any special contract. I can produce a programme, I can present it to Netflix. Netflix say, yes, it's great, we'll pay you. She'll do the same. She'll produce her own films through Archie Productions or whatever her programme is. And then they'll either say yay or nay. I think Netflix is starting to phase her out. They haven't just axed her, they're starting to phase her out, and we'll see what happens.
Well, like you said, they'd already filmed this, so if it was a straight choice between showing this guff or, like, not, then they'd already got it in the can, so I suppose they might as well. Would you like to stick up for Meghan Markle for a second here, Matthew? Or
you need the balance.
I think maybe someone does need...
I've not seen this. I always thought she came across all right. She gets a lot of unnecessary hate.
I'll do. Right, cheers, mate. All right.
She wears some lovely beige.
She does.
Layers of beige.
But that doesn't appeal to the masses, you know. People who are starving and people whose houses are burning down in Los Angeles don't want to watch a programme with her in a $10,000 dress making a cake.
Yeah. Actually, just genuinely think about the good that she could do. Like, it was, anyway, whatever. Right, thank you, mate, and cheers. And also, do you want to, like, plug any of your restaurants, really?
No, not at the moment. I am...
Don't bother.
I am opening in London very soon, so come to London. I'm actually moving my restaurant from Chichester up to London in the next
Are you in
2 months.
Chichester?
I am, yeah. I live in Chichester, yeah.
I live down there.
Do you?
Yeah.
We've never been to my restaurant.
No, I can't afford to, mate. Can I?
Well, not many people in Chichester can afford to come, so that's the problem.
All right.
Paying mortgages.
Well done. All right, mate, well done. Thanks, great to see you.
No worries.
See you again soon. OK, coming up in just a moment.
김정은 동지께서 중동 TF를 끊으시었습니다.
Welcome to Hotel North Korea. You can check out any time, but you can't leave a bad review. I want to be the first journalist to do a live news broadcast from North Korea, so hopefully it's on the cards. And I've always loved Kim Jong-un. Stay tuned.
I forecast a perfect holiday in the sun.
Weather looking good then?
For sure, and no worries about our travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, and across many parts of southern Europe, there will be some showery rain around, but plenty of sunshine. And I think the biggest talking point is the exceptional heat. Some very warm air over North Africa has spread northwards into parts of Spain, Portugal, and is going to push into France and Germany as well. Coastal spots are going to be, well, very warm, but it's inland areas where temperatures are going to be exceptionally high, both by day and by night. Plenty of sunshine, like I said, however.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
This is Britain's Newsroom, where your voice matters.
It's just astonishing. With expert analysis and honest opinion, we don't just keep you informed.
We bring you unique perspectives you won't see anywhere else.
Can't argue with any of that. When the news happens, it happens here.
On Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
Because
the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5.
You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah.
Uncensored.
Very, very racist tonight on the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Welcome back to Patrick Christys Tonight Late Edition. Well, how long have we got? Not that long. There's obviously quite a good array of front pages here. Record 8 million people on Universal Credit in the Daily Express as well. What does this say about modern Britain, Christo, do you think?
Well, it's also, let's not forget, that 1 in 4 people in Birmingham, I don't think actually have any kind of job or employment. And I mean, obviously, I don't blame them for not wanting to leave their house if they live in Birmingham, but you'd think that they want to earn some money at some point.
Well, yeah, but what's going on here? You know, Paul. I mean, you just like you were doing sums then? Are you working something out?
I was looking at the story.
You're looking like a really stressed out.
I was like 8 million. That's a big number. I was just trying to work.
That's a load. How many zeros is that?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It feels like a bit. And I'm sorry, Matt, because Matt has the toughest job here as the resident lefty, and I absolutely love him to bits. But this does feel like a Labour wet dream to me, like 1 million extra people dependent on the government. It feels like a socialist wet dream to me.
Yes.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, which I always say when I'm about to come up with a great big conspiracy.
Absolutely.
But it does feel to me like this. They're never going to discourage this sort of thing.
Well, it's school breakfasts. It's the same thing with school breakfasts. You know, the state, you know, rather than giving people low enough taxes that they can afford breakfast for their children, no, we will provide the breakfast ourselves. The state is in charge.
Go on, I don't know. Do you take the view that actually a lot of these people really do need the benefits and they should have them?
No, I think Wes Streeton said it earlier in the year. There's an element of overdiagnosis. We don't normalise resilience enough when it comes to things like mental health issues. I don't say that glibly as someone that struggles himself. But I think we have to realise sadness is a normal emotion. The concerning thing for this is it's going to be happening younger and younger. The Centre for Social Justice did a report last week and released figures that if we continue to fail working-class kids at school, there's going to be 180,000 of them going straight from school, straight onto benefits because they're not in education, employment or training. Well, you're on the scrap heap immediately, aren't you? That's not good for you.
Well, yeah, and then the idea then of, written off for life and all of that. But I just wanted to squeeze this in. So, the first Russian visitors to North Korea's new tourist resort town have heralded it as gorgeous and up to European standards. During their trip, guides told them to be careful with what they say about the experience back home, suggesting any friendship can be broken with some awkward, improper words. Have we got any footage, presumably, of this North Korean hotel? Yes? OK.
김정은 동지께서 중동 테이프를 끊으시었습니다.
I mean, why isn't that the Migrant Hotel?
Can you imagine?
Wouldn't that kill two birds with one stone?
Well, can you imagine sending them to North Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your hotel, you get your room and board. This is the downside.
There are only 4 haircuts. That's it, isn't it? There's no way. It looks decent.
Right. I want to do a show from North Korea. We have been speaking about it behind the scenes here. And we would love to...
Will you have a panel? Because I've been obsessed with North Korea since I was about 18.
Yeah.
I don't think I can probably go now,
OK.
But it's incredible, the idea of what it's like.
Let's go.
I'd love it. I just want to see the show, and I would leave a good review.
I'm going to decline.
OK, yeah, well, hey, fair enough. OK, let's do a quick roundup of the front pages for Wednesday. The Daily Telegraph. Families face fresh inheritance tax grab. That'll be a big one leading the news agenda tomorrow. The Times. Chinese company could take over struggling Thames Water. The Guardian. Treasury targets inheritance tax. The Independent. I think, for me anyway, this is the big story, and I would expect to be seeing a lot of this across our coverage in the coming day. Abject failure as smuggling arrests fall under Labour, so not smashing the gangs there. The Daily Mirror. Dry alert. Bit hot, basically. A bit hot. It's summer. Sorry about the reservoirs. Daily Express. Record 8 million people are on universal credit. The Eye. Clamped down on stone imports after deadly lung disease linked to kitchen revamps. The Sun. Taunts of the TikTok migrant. A bloke TikToking out of a migrant hotel. The Mail. It's the Labour government saying it's not their fault for all of the illegals. Thank you very much to our wonderful panel. Thank you to you. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Over the coming days, it is going to remain hot in some places. This could be enough to produce some heavy, possibly thundery showers in the week, and the warm, muggy nights are set to continue. And it's all thanks to that south-southeasterly flow, so we're dragging up some heat from mainland Europe, keeping things quite dry and settled, but also quite warm at times. And as we head through this evening, we'll also drag up some moisture from the southwest, so more cloud just starting to push into parts of south and southwest England, southern parts of Wales too. That could lead us into quite a murky start in the morning. Mostly dry, though we do have some showers just pushing northeastwards across Scotland. But once again, another warm start today. Lows only reaching around 17 to 18 degrees in the south. Now, any cloud that we see across the southwest, it should lift and break through the course of the morning, but it could be thick enough at coasts to produce some very isolated showers. But across Northern Ireland, much of central and southeastern parts of England, northern parts of England too, it should be a bright and sunny start to the day. More cloud across Scotland, some isolated showers just moving their way northeastwards here too. The odd one or two could be heavy, and once again we could still continue to hear the odd rumble of thunder, but they'll eventually clear, drifting their way northeastwards. Any cloud across the southwest will lift and break, and for all, once again, it should be mostly dry, settled and feeling very hot in that sunshine, particularly across central areas. And then we just need to keep an eye on the showers across parts of the southeast, so we may start to see more cloud here into the afternoon, perhaps the odd light shower. But once again, temperatures widely in the mid to high 20s, just pushing into the low 30s across central parts. Then on Thursday, we see a bit of a mixed bag of weather. There are going to be some quite heavy thundery showers, particularly northwest Scotland, drifting into western parts of Wales, parts of southwest England as well. So we need to keep an eye on those showers. They could turn quite heavy and thundery. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine to end the week and into the weekend, and the warm temperatures are set to continue as well. Bye-bye.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
There's just 3 weeks to see how you can win your mortgage or rent paid for a whole year. That's a cash lump sum equivalent to 12 of your monthly mortgage or rent payments, right up to a whopping £20,000. Plus, we'll add an extra £5,000 on top for good measure. Make sure you don't miss out as lines close on the 29th of August. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text BONUS to 63225. 225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB15 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 29th of August. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters. Real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.